Candyman.
You're mine now.
The original Candyman, Tony Todd, is one of the most well-known faces in the horror film industry. He has appeared in over 150 movies and television shows, including 1990's Night of the Living Dead, The Rock, and the Final Destination films.
It's a wrinkle in reality, and that wrinkle is you.
Tony spent some time in 2old2play's studio space at the 2012 Rock and Shock convention for this chapter of the pop culture series.
So you let death have somebody else in your place, and then you take their spot in the realm of the living, all the days and years that they've yet to live.
All right, so this is Dane Tullock, a.k.a. Waterborn with 2old2play.com. We're back here at Rock and Shock 2012, and I am here with Tony Todd, Candyman, Hatchet 1 and 2. And I didn't know this before we talked to you on Friday, but the guy's big into video games, and he may be able to give us a little bit of info about something coming up he's doing on voiceover work. But first, Tony, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with us today.
It's my pleasure. I'm sorry it had to be at the tail end of the convention, but I told you we'd get it done, and when you're a gamer, you follow your schedule.
We definitely appreciate that. In the last interview we did last year, we waited till the very end to get Robert Englund, so you're in good company, sir.
Awesome. Great.
So talk to me first. Let's talk about Candyman, Hatchet 1, Hatchet 2, and the stuff you're doing with Holliston and Adam Green. We were just talking off camera about the importance of bringing good people around you. Adam obviously does that very well. He has built basically a family around what he does. So talk to me about your perception with that in your work with him on Holliston.
Well, you know, Adam is a rare individual. He's got a big heart, and I've learned that the best directors have a magnanimous capacity for warmth, understanding, and tolerance of the human condition. Now, all those big words aside, I first met Adam at a Fangoria convention in LA, and he was in line like all these people that were here in Rock and Shock this weekend, and he came up to me, he wanted a couple of signatures, and then he told me, I'm a filmmaker. And I used to teach, so if anybody says that to me, I take them at their word, because I try to encourage people, not discourage it. All I ask is that make sure that you really, really want this, because it's difficult. You have to deal with rejection. You gotta want it. Don't mess around. And then literally 2 years later, he sent me the script for Hatchet 1. And I actually turned it down, the first one.
Really?
I thanked him for his, well, I thought the role was too small. And then he lobbied and convinced me that if the second one was made, that my character would be expanded. So on that leap of faith, I jumped in, and I'm glad I did, because it was quite a miraculous family. And true to his word, Hatchet 2, I say too much.
And I love your role in Hatchet 2 because, and I'm going to draw a blank, and you may have to help me out with this, but you remind me so much of the actor in Hatchet 2. When you do your part, you remind me so much of the actor from Live and Let Die. Help me out here. I'm drawing a blank. Old 7-Up commercials.
Oh, I know you're talking about Jeffrey Holder.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
You brought that same.
Well, I went to school with his son, actually.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
And you brought that same kind of. It's almost like a quiet surrealism, but and I'm using big words. I hang around.
Surrealism is a great word. I trained in the school of surrealism.
Did you really?
Yeah.
But you bring that presence, for want of a better phrase, to the screen to where you don't even. You did it in Candyman too. You don't even have to say anything, and people are like riveted. They're like, okay, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna say? Is that something that just comes naturally for you?
You know what? Learning how to deal with the camera took me a long time, and I'm still learning, because it's a tricky little thing there. It's got a flashing red light. It loves you if you let it love you. And I did a movie in Africa called The Last Elephant with James Earl Jones and John Lithgow and Isabella Rossellini. And the DP on that told me, and he gave me an invaluable secret. He says, sometimes when you're young and you're out of school, you tend to want to do everything. You want to just make the point, underline the point, box it, wrap it. And the camera, the thing is, you do your homework, you do your research, but you just be. And if you don't think about it, the camera picks it up. It's such a magnificent little image point of light thing. It sees it's subtle. So if you study great subtle performances like William Holden in Sunset Boulevard, you know, Paul Newman's work in HUD, or Jack Nicholson in Five Easy Pieces. Not that there's anything subtle about Jack, but less is more. That's the secret. So it's still taking a while to learn that. I'm still trying to perfect it because it's hard. You think action that you're supposed to deliver, and you don't necessarily.
Yeah, so that's one of the things about, especially about Candyman, because your character is just, like I said, there's such a presence to that character throughout the whole movie, and you don't have, you don't say a lot in that movie.
I'm only in the movie 10 minutes, actual screen time.
But the whole...
About me a lot. I'm referenced a lot. But, you know, this is the 20th anniversary. Whether I only do one convention a year, 2 or 6 a year, wherever I go, Candyman is the #1 seller. Go figure. Who knew?
And what do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I think, well, no, I do know. It was a combination of a lot of different things that came together, just like what Adam Green does with his family. The cinematography was on point. Tony Richmond, who did The Man Who Fell to Earth. We had Bernard Rose, our maniacal English director. We had the music of Philip Glass. We had beauty of Virginia Madsen. I was right for the role. You had Chicago as the 5th character.
Yeah.
So all these things. And then just dealing with a real not jokey way about an urban legend. Everybody, no matter where you live, has their own urban legend. You know?
So speak a little bit, that's a good point. Speak a little bit to the importance of horror in the, not only the production of certain urban legends, but the kind of keeping certain urban legends alive, whether it's Candyman, whether it's Bloody Mary or whatnot. Obviously, the horror industry does that. They actually provide a social service in some respects. Absolutely. Because they keep our myths alive. So talk to that a little bit.
And then they also help debunk our myths. I mean, the more you face your fears, I'm an old school film noir guy. I love black and white films, all right? And the beauty of a movie that's successful and good is that you're sharing it with collective strangers. You look around, you don't know these people. That's why what happened in Denver this year was such a damn tragedy, that somebody would violate the sanctity of strangers coming together to have a damn good time. Okay, so we'll forget about him because that was an aberration, right? But just that shared community, particularly when it was a horror movie, people want that roller coaster ride, that I'm going slowly up and then I'm crashing, and then, at least 10 people this weekend told me that they met their wife at Candyman, and she leapt into their arms, and that was their first hug, and things went from there. That's an amazing record.
That's a heck of a statement. How does that make you feel when people tell you that you're the reason I had my first hug with my wife is you? Basically.
Empowered. I don't take it. I'm public enemy, man. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
Right.
Don't. I keep it all in perspective. A key to longevity is to don't take yourself too seriously. Have a full life away from what you do, but let it inform what you do. So I rescue cats, I garden, I cook, I take care of people.
Excellent. And when I talk to people, and I've done a lot of these interviews at these events, video game events, Comic-Cons and whatnot, and you get a pretty good impression of those things which are unspoken. And when I talk to you on Friday and today, I can definitely get the feeling that there's a lot more to Tony than what we see on the camera. Like you said, kind of a Renaissance guy, whatnot. But if you can, real quickly, kind of speak to you talk about cooking and the rescuing of the cats and whatnot. I'm a dog guy. I have a rescued Rottweiler. Definitely understand that kind of bond. But how do those things inform your acting? In other words, how does the rest of your life kind of help you build yourself as a better actor?
Well, let's put it this way. If Vincent van Gogh had been a happier individual, think of how much great artwork we would have come from a man that lived his whole life tortured, unhappy, unsatisfied, ripped up half of his manuscripts, okay? You have to have a full life. Know what makes you happy that doesn't kill you, and go out and embrace that, man. And then when you get a job, and as you get older, more and more jobs just come to you, you're ready. You're ready. I got 3 scripts waiting for me when I get back, which is beautiful. Right over there in the corner, you can't see him, he's offhand, but there's a director I work with named Paul Moore, who I did a film called Unbroken with. We shot it a little over a year ago. It'll be out next year. You know, I got Sushi Girl coming out.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm looking forward to that.
Man, go look at the trailer, folks. Mark Hamill, Noah Hathaway, Andy McKenzie, Jimmy DeVal, Sonny Chiba, Jeff Fahey, Danny Trejo. Goes on and on. But we got some good work.
Yeah, and you look at it, you talk about people like Sonny Chiba. I grew up on Sonny Chiba's old movies, the old samurai films and the ninja films that he did. Talk to me real quickly about. I presume you were a fan of Sonny Chiba. You were aware of his work before Sushi Girl. Yeah. Talk to me about going and working with an icon in an industry like Sonny Chiba. What's your perspective on that?
Well, you know, people like Sonny Chiba, even though you and I know him and we give him reverence, today's culture can be a little like, if I don't know what you did 3 years ago, I don't know you. So I go out of my way to make sure that he knows that he's a respected individual, and we're honored. I was also a producer on Sushi Girl, so I had to learn how to wear a lot of hats to make people feel accommodated and wanted, so that they can give their best work. You know, you don't direct by tearing someone down. If you cast it in the right way, the person is right for the role, and you just create an environment to bring out their very best. So hopefully, when I make my directorial debut later next year, I'll be able to bring all these things to fore.
Excellent. And can you tell us anything about the movie you will be directing?
Yeah, it's a script I wrote called Catalytic, that the people that did Sushi Girl, Simile Line, and Phase 4 are going to help me produce. And it's about, you know, all these random acts of evil that occur in this world that have no reason, like the Denver incident. So I wanted to write a script that embodied why these things are just happening out of control. And I set it in this post-apocalyptic world, set in a sideshow where a lycanthrope, werewolf, is captured. And the mystery of the movie is, who is this guy? Why does he hold the secret to the universe? And what's going to happen next?
Dude, that sounds pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that.
And I'm playing the lycanthrope.
Dude, you'd make an awesome werewolf.
Yeah, and I'm going to do it. All respect to Lon Chaney Jr. I'm going to do a different take on it.
Nice, nice. So let's move a little bit away from the movies. Let's talk some video games for a minute, because you were telling me that your favorite classic arcade game is a millipede, right?
Yes, and you showed me a screenshot, and I was thrilled. I mean, so much point when I was getting my master's, snowstorms in Providence, I had to have my millipede fixed, and I walked almost a mile through a blizzard to get to 24/7 stores so I could just put my hand on those little buttons.
And so you've also done some voiceover work?
Well, you know, I did my first video game was Half-Life.
Yep.
Did that, played a Vortigaunt, did a Star Trek game. That may have been first, actually. Then I did, I mean, I do a lot of Transformers work, and they want me to do a Transformers game, but they don't look good, in my opinion. So if they come up with a game that's good, I'll do it. But recently, well, 6 months ago, I was called, says between you and another person, for this game called Eclipse. I never heard of it, so I didn't get that excited. I said, okay. And I've learned in my life that the more you say, I got to get this job, the less you'll get it. You just let it go and go about your life. Go to Sprinkles, get a cupcake. Go to the gym, get a steam, you know. Call your favorite woman on the phone. Just do whatever it is. It's not that. And then it comes. So at the end of the day, say, congratulations, it's yours. Then they told me, by the way, it's for a game called Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2, man.
Black Ops 2. Dose. All right? And I was like, what? What? And but then they said, you can't tell anybody.
So guys, don't tell anybody, okay? We don't know about this yet.
That was 6 months ago.
Okay.
Thank God, because I would have been sued. No, I couldn't tell anybody for like 3 months.
Yep.
My family, my friends, nobody.
Right. NDAs are a bitch, aren't they sometimes?
I did tell maybe 4 people, but there were 4 people that I knew I could trust, or I would kill them. Because I had to get it out. I'm only human. But the mocap shit, man, I mean, I'm in a wetsuit. I got the 82 points of light on my face, which I learned cost $20 a piece.
Each of those.
Yeah. Well, then they're the little tiny ones now. They're like those little candy strips we see with the buttons on it. Yeah. $20 a piece.
Wow.
It's like, you know, an Air Force toilet. And you know, and then they make you do these exercises to warm up to get the motion capture detected. You work in a room that's surrounded by 267 cameras for TriArc Studios, and it's recording you from every angle, whether you are conscious of it or not. So the whole thing of like knowing where the camera is does not apply.
Right.
And then it goes digitized into a memory bank, and the little animators are in there doing their thing. And I couldn't look at that part because it was unfinished and stuff. I didn't want to see myself like, you know, with red lights and shit. But I'm telling you, this game is awesome. I did the first trailer, which is when I could talk about it. Batman Rises. It was going to be through the chain. They're predicting 9 billion units.
Yeah, Call of Duty is definitely huge in the community. So
I have a whole new legion of 8-year-old fans from Iowa.
Yeah. So what do you have coming on down the line? You got your movie that you're going to be producing and directing. What else is in the future for Tony Todd?
That's not enough?
No, dude. I mean, talk to me. You obviously are a guy who has a lot going on. So what else is going on?
Restaurant.
Oh, talk to me about that as a food.
Not immediately, but one day I will. It'll probably be a tapas restaurant. And
for some more announcements this afternoon. We have our first band signing coming up at 3 o'clock.
Actually, the mics don't pick that up.
Located at the far side of the venue.
Some really good mics.
DJ play.
Oh, okay.
Anybody can play out.
Yeah, you ruined my sense of fun. No, I got some offers that are on the table. I can't talk about them because they're not closed, but it's going to be a great year. It's going to be, my daughter's going to graduate college, which is phenomenal.
Just in case everybody missed that, you're talking about opening a restaurant, a tapas restaurant. I'm a huge foodie. We'll get into that off of camera. But talk to me a little bit about your love of food. What do you focus on, and where does that come from?
I was raised by a single woman, and I was a very ADD child, but we didn't know what that was then. And so she figured, for some reason, the kitchen calmed me down. I would always watch her make these wonderful southern dishes and stuff. And one day she said, "Why don't you try making a cake?" And I said, "Can I?" She said, "Yeah, as long as you clean up afterwards." And I didn't go get a Betty Crocker cake mix. I went to the Betty Crocker cookbook and said, "Okay, I need 8 eggs."
The one with the red cover, red
Yeah. I need, and the look on her face when I said, "I need 8 eggs, some whipped cream, some fresh cream butter." She said, "Boy, why can't you just use the Betty Crocker cake mix?" Instinctively, I knew that doing it yourself and taking the love that it takes to fold the egg whites and all that stuff was going to be way better than any processed, unnamed Hostess product.
Right.
You know? I mean, did you ever really like eating them snowballs, man? Seriously?
Oh, hell no, dude. Hell no.
Did you ever see a kid that said, "I gotta go get me a pack of snowballs"? Seriously?
Now, what was that movie that just came out? And we're running out of time, so we got to wrap it up.
Okay, sorry.
But no worries, dude. I'll talk food with you all day long. Zombieland. Do you see Zombieland?
Yeah, the one with Woody Harrelson?
Yes. And when they find the hostess Twinkie, and he's all he wants is a Twinkie, and it's just a truck full of fucking snowballs, and he's like, "God damn it."
Yeah.
One of my favorite film moments of all time. But anyway, Tony, we really appreciate you taking time as you're heading out. This is Dane Tullock, a.k.a. Waterborn from 2old2play.com. I'm here with the Tony Todd, Renaissance man, actor, chef. You know, Gardner. I really appreciate the chance to talk to you. Video game enthusiast, and he's also going to be voicing over Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, so check that out when it comes out. And thank you again, Too old to play, baby. Yes, sir. Never too old to play. Thank you.